Simply May here, and welcome to part 3 of our modern speed build for the Veggie Legacy Challenge. So if you haven't watched part 1 or part 2, part 1 we created the shell to this house, and part 2 we furnished the downstairs. We also did some landscaping in part 1, but this is the house to the founder of our Veggie Legacy Challenge. It is a mouthful. And our founder's name is Brienne, and pretty much the backstory is that she lived with her family. Her dad and her got into a pretty huge argument, and he kicked her out of the house. And she is now on her own. She is pursuing her dreams of being a fashion designer, like own her own brand. She wants to get her own fashion out there, and she was very much inspired by her mother, which you'll see a lot of the mother's influence on the style of this house. Her mom is a hairdresser. She loves plants. She loves also like luxury. She's very into fashion. So when I was creating the bedroom of the mother and the father, it definitely has more of the mom's taste going, and the dad he doesn't really mind it, but he has his own space, especially in the downstairs. He has a huge science lab. So here I'm just working on what has become pretty much a storage room. It actually used to be Brienne's little brother's room, but now he has her old room. And this change really was just put in place as kind of a project that kept mom busy, but also gave Braden something to help him cope with this difficult time, where things are really just uncertain with his sister and his dad. His sister was supposed to be in college at this point, and she turned it down. She decided she didn't want to go to college, which already, like I said, brought tension in the household. But there was a very significant specific event that I will not go into. You'll have to watch the Let's Play to find out what actually happened the night that she ended up leaving. But anyways, Braden is, as you can see, big into science, and this wasn't entirely from his own choosing. His dad definitely had a major influence. Now, to be fair, Braden is a little genius, and he does look up to his dad a lot. But he does receive a lot of the pressure that his sister had received prior in following his dad's footsteps. So, as you can see as well, we have another room that really pink, bright. There's a lot going on in that room. That is for Barack, that's the dad's name, his mom, Bernice. I know I'm throwing a lot of B names at you right now, a lot of names in this household. That is the broccoli generation, so we kind of had to play off of that. But she's a little bit of a cat lady. She does have a cat. I haven't moved her cat into the house yet, but she does have a cat, and it does wreak a little bit of havoc when it gets out of her side of the house. But yeah, let's go over this real quick. So yeah, I went with more of like a geometric theme. We have the nice little like outside view here. This man, he loves space. He's fascinated by space. So you're going to see lots of telescopes in this house. And similarly, you'll also see a lot of gardening, as well as I had that yoga mat because mom really likes to focus on wellness. Yeah, like I said, though, she loves her fashion, so we had to give her this like really huge, pretty much walk-in closet. So then when you go out into the hall, right to the left here, we have Brayden's room. Used to be Brienne's. Brayden has, all this science-inspired stuff. I put a lot of, like, clothing on the floor. He's young. He's, like, 10 years old. So, I feel like his room wouldn't be the neatest. But, yeah, he also really loves, these like sci-fi kind of shows and like creatures and things like that. His dad got him that like lab set, so he can follow in his footsteps. Like I said, he's really trying to like push for that. He has these drawings that he did, which, is kind of like in their family, they're all a bit artistic. This right here, that little void critter was actually painted by Brienne in his room, and it's just like a little trace of her. Also, I imagine that these paintings that I put on the ground were paintings that Brienne did. We have boxes of all of her stuff just like packed away, her old bed, just remnants. She was big into art. She loved anything creative, really. So, and we'll obviously see that in the Let's Play. I wanted to put the easel that looked like it, was painted on, and then her cross stitch and some of her like yarn and things like that were left behind. So this is kind of the shared bathroom upstairs. We already saw the master bed and bath for the parents. This one is shared between Brayden and his grandmother. Speaking of his grandmother, this is her space. Now, I wanted to, give it a lot of personality. Like I said, one of her big parts of her personality is her love of cats, but she, just like the mother, also really likes flowers. Their styles are quite different, and you will see that is definitely a point of tension in the house. But she's also traveled a lot in her life. She's very proud of that, and she really values education. Which is why, seeing how far her son has come makes her very proud. She wants to see the same success with Brayden, and she wanted to see the same success with Brienne too. And then those pictures on the wall, I imagine, are people that, are from Bernice's past that are important to her. Now, when you first come up the stairs, this is the view you see at first. So I really just wanted to put this little station for the mom, who, like I said, works in a salon. So that is pretty much the top floor. I would love to know what you guys think of it. I hope also you enjoyed learning a little bit more about the family, and I'll talk to you soon.